I'm Sherry Cole, head coach at the University of Oklahoma. We're putting together a package of videos that hopefully can help you build your program from the ground up. It's a very skeletal system, it's a framework. We'll do a whole lot of what and a little less of how, but hopefully it jumpstarts your brain to thinking how you can develop and organize certain areas of teaching within your teams and your systems. The first video is a team offense video, and we cover everything from a basic continuity offense versus a man in the zone, all the way to specificity of inbounds plays on the sideline, on the baseline, and inbounds plays for certain purposes, such as a 3 at the end of the game. We'll also incorporate some techniques for breaking a press and for transition basketball. In the second video, it's about team defense. We'll begin with basic tenets of man-to-man defense, basic personal stance, and then movement based on the basketball and on your man. We'll talk about slides and responsibilities in half-court zone defenses. We'll quickly review full-court presses and some junk defenses and try to give you sort of an assembly line of options of things you can do with your team defensively. Again, you can't do everything, and you sure can't do everything well, but hopefully you can pick and choose those types of things that can help make your team most successful. We'll do a shooting mechanics video where we build the shot from the ground up and then talk about shooting drills to practice and repeat those positive shooting habits. We'll do an individual workout video that divides skill work into perimeter play and post play, and we'll show basic skills and then how to work on those skills in a combination setting. We'll do an offensive movement video in which we talk about the basic tenets of offensive movement, what you do without the ball in your hand, how to basket cut, how to screen, how to use screens, how to set and use ball screens, how to balance and space the floor, feed the post, and play off of post feeds. We'll also do a video that is called Practice Drills and Program Development, where I'll spend a little bit of time talking about those cornerstones of developing a program intangibly and tangibly, both on the floor and off the floor. And then we'll show some team practice drills, talk about things like goal setting in practice, time increments, and competitive drills on the floor. Our team defense video is designed, again, to expose coaches and players to a wide variety of defensive systems. I began by going through the techniques of stance and how important fundamental one-on-one defensive play is to any sort of defensive system that you employ. I go through the man defensive system pretty quickly, just trying to touch on the high points of movement and ball-you-man relationship and how those things intertwine with one another in the system of the most typical man defense. I tried to go into some detail about trapping and about junk defenses and about extending defenses 94 feet of the floor, talk a little bit about zones, and again, everything that we do is predicated upon intensity and attention to detail, and really at the end of the day, defense is about want to. It's about having a great desire to stop somebody. It's about taking great pride in preventing baskets and playing for your teammates. It's a very selfless part of the game and a part where really any player can excel. And hopefully what we've tried to do with this video is to create some situations so that coaches can decide how they want to guard. Because at the end of the day, philosophically, you have to decide how it is you want to defend the basketball. And you can't do it all. You have to choose those things that fit you and your personnel best. But hopefully these will expose you to some thoughts and help you decide what particular system can make you the most successful. Good luck. Okay, if I could have you, let's walk out in 3 lines of 3, 3 across here, 3 across there, 3 across the baseline, facing me. See if we can count. 3, 3, and 3. Okay. It's complicated. Woo! All right. Better late than never. Okay, we're going to talk about defense and talk about defensive stance. And regardless of what kind of defense you're running, a 2-3 zone, a 3-2 zone, a 1-3-1, a man, a trapping man, a sagging man, doesn't matter. Stance is where it all begins. So first we're going to talk about getting in a proper defensive stance. So I want everyone to get your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart and take your right foot just a little bit higher than your left. And then I want you to put your hands on your knees and bend your knees, okay? Now I want you to take your hands off your knees and stay right there. All right? Lovely. All right. Now I want you to take your right hand, since your right foot is up a little bit, and that's going to be your trace hand. I want you to take your left hand, stick your thumb in your ear, and then go out, and that's your passing lane hand. And now I want you to make your feet just a little bit wider. Whatever that comfort level is for you, everybody has a different spot. If you watch Derek Fisher from the Oklahoma City Thunder, when he comes out and gets in a stance, it looks like this. For some people, that's a little too wide. They're not that comfortable. Whatever that position is for you, you want to keep your back as straight as you can. And you're going to defend with your hips and your feet, okay? Stance and readiness being the most important part of everything that we do from here on out. We'll talk about sliding in a zone. We'll talk about closing out and containing a dribble in a man. But stance is important in any part of the defensive progression. On the ball, away from the ball, help side, hoop, whatever, we have to be in a stance. So you can relax for just a second. Readiness, playing with your heart, playing with great intensity is the key thing in defense. Anybody can defend. Anybody can defend. Even if you're slow, you can defend. You need a little bit bigger cushion than somebody else, but it is not only for athletes or for quick guys. It's for everyone. And if you want to be a great defender, you can be a great defender. It just has to be important to you, okay? When we talk about stance, one of the things that we continually emphasize, active feet and active hands. We don't want our feet dead. We don't ever want anybody hopping. And we don't necessarily want you doing a foot fire drill all the time either. We just want your feet slightly moving so that you're ready and able to change direction quickly. We like active hands. The more active, the better. Not necessarily all over craziness where you lose your balance, but we want active hands so that a great passer, get down in a stance with active hands for me here. If her hand is still, I see passing lane, I see passing lane, I see passing lane. If her hands are moving, I don't know where those passing lanes are. So we want active hands and active feet, okay? So I want everybody to get down in a stance, okay? One of the things that we do in all of our defensive talk, we make sure that we verbalize everything that we do. So this is basically a ready stance that you're in right now. And so when you assume it, you're going to say ready, ready, ready. Okay? Ready, ready, ready. That's a live ball stance. That tells everybody else on your team that the guy that you're guarding has a live ball, which means it can be what? Passed or dribbled or shot. Right. Very good. Very good. She's in another time zone still. That's all right. Okay, so it's a live ball. Anything could happen. So you're ready, ready, ready. You're ready for everything. That's what you're saying. Okay, now I want you to relax for just a second. Okay, we're going to do what we call a live ball reaction drill in the half court to show the different types of movement that we will do in a man defense related to our player, the basketball, and the other guys on the floor. Okay, so our first movement is how we will contain a dribble. Okay, so if I have the basketball here at the top and she's closed out with her right foot forward, she's sending me to the right here. When I put the ball on the floor, her up hand is going to become her point hand, and she's digging at the basketball as I dribble. She wants to stay slightly ahead of my dribble, okay, to arc me so that I can't go this direction, to send me to the sideline, to flatten my dribble, okay? That's called the point stance. So when I'm live ball, she's in ready. When I put the ball on the floor, she's in point, okay? If I'm live ball and I'm ready and I jab but I don't dribble, she retreats. It's a step slide back. I come back to triple threat, she advances. And so the terminology is retreat, advance. So we're here, ready, ready, ready. This is retreat. This is advance. This is retreat. This is advance. This is point, 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 okay? When I change directions, when she forces me to cross over, to go behind my back, to go between my legs, I can do all those things really well. Or make a whirl dribble, I'm changing direction, her point hand changes, all right? So if I'm here and she points and I change direction, her up hand makes a fist and swings and becomes the passing lane hand. Her passing lane hand becomes the point hand. So we're here, point, 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 swing, point, point, point. When I pick it up, her verbalization is dead. Dead. We say stick, 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 stick. Let's say stick, just for me, because I'll scream stick and you guys will scream dead and it'll sound weird. So let's all say stick, okay? So what we're going to do in this drill is Coach Finley is going to throw the ball up, and I didn't show you a closeout, so I need to show you that. Girls need to practice this probably twice as much as guys. It's really, really hard for us to get the body balance down. If you can't close out, you can't ever stay in front of the basketball, so very important. You sprint half the distance to the guy who you're guarding, throw your hands up, throw your butt down. This is where your ready comes in, and you're ready to play the drive, but you're taking the shot away with your hands. So both hands go high, and you throw them up, and that's what throws your head and hips down and enables you to react. So we'll start with the closeout. Coach will throw the ball up, and you guys will close out on an imaginary offensive player in front of you. Ready, 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 ready. She'll jab, and you'll retreat. She'll come back, and you'll advance. She may do that a time or two. She puts it on the floor, you point. She changes directions, you swing and point. She picks it up, you stick. Let's see what it looks like. All right, live ball reaction. Ready, ready, ready? Good. Everybody call it. Point, 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 swing. Good. Good. Good, good. Come back to your spots. Really, really good. Okay, so you can see the basic movement of one-on-one dribble containment of the basketball, okay? Real important when we're changing direction to remember if Coach is here and Lisa's guarding her, and Coach puts the ball on the floor going right and changes direction, if Lisa opens up too much, then Coach can go straight to the rim, okay? So she only wants to open up about a third to half the way to send her now to the opposite baseline, because your objective as a defender is to send that ball east and west and not allow it to go north and south. So we'll go one more time with live ball reaction. High hands on a closeout, please. Good. All right, last thing with that, when we stick, the reason we're sticking is we're telling our teammates you can go in full out deny, 5th grade V defense, no catch, because that ball can't be dribbled anyway. She can't get beat on the dribble. We want to stay with our knees bent and trace with both of our hands, thumbs together. The reason we have our knees bent is because the most vulnerable defender on the floor is the guy guarding the guy who just had a dead ball. So she's got the ball, she passes it, you've been stick, 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 oh, my job is done. She runs a basket cut and you get scored on. So you stay down and ready in your stick. As soon as she passes, then you make your next movement, okay? A way that you can work on this is I want everybody to get in twos around, let's just get on this sideline so you're facing here. You're in pairs and you have one ball to each pair. Real quickly, one ball to each pair.
I got somebody.
Ah, there you go. Okay, the guy with the ball is going to face their buddy right out here. We call this mirror drill. So you'll line up, you'll use all the way to the baseline here. My last pair down there on the baseline. And then my next pair. Okay, right here on the sideline. Ball's out there. Ball's out there. Okay. All right, you'll toss it. We call this the mirror drill. Jess will toss it, just underhand, and she'll close out. Ready, ready, ready. Right foot forward. And you'll work her jab. Back. Back. You might even do a little shot fake, make her hand go up and trace the ball. Good. You put the ball on the floor, dribble a couple times. She makes the call. She makes you turn. You pick it up. Stick, stick, stick. You hustle back and you switch directions. We'll just show them what it looks like. It's called mirror drill. Easy way to work on your defensive technique, your form, and your footwork in a real short amount of time. Okay? Here we go.
Ready, ready, ready.
Active hands, active feet. Good. Stay half in front of the ball. Cut them off. Cut them off. Good, good. Hustle back and switch places. Offense, defense. Same thing. Toss, close out. Go. Toss, close out. Good. Get your hips down. Hips down, hips down. Good. Good. Okay. Now when everybody go down the baseline, only Coach Finley needs basketball. Okay, so we talked about basic stance and basic movement on a dribble, live ball, dead ball, one-on-one defense. Now we're going to break down the closeout just a little bit and talk about how to get maximum reps in closeouts, because one of the things we do is we work on closing out and containment and contesting every single day. Those are our 3 everydays with defense, 3 things that we want to work on every single day. So this will show you an opportunity to work on closeouts. So let's go with line. First player in the line is at the block right here, and Coach Finley's out on the wing, and my line's just along the baseline. Okay? Coach Finley will be out on the wing, and when she slaps the basketball, the first defender in line is going to sprint and close out. And to start with, she'll pretend that the ball's in the middle of the floor. Let's say it's with me. So her position would be opened up. Coach catches it. She closes out. And coach may live ball, lift, jab, whatever. Coach will put it on the floor one time. Defender will step slide all the way to the baseline. You'll just keep going, and then stick, stick, stick on the baseline. And we do this on 2 ends, where then you rotate to the other end. So you're closing out with your right foot up on this quadrant of the floor on this end, with your left foot up on that quadrant of the floor on that end. So you're changing sides of the floor. We like to close out with our inside foot up, our goal being to send the ball to the sideline away from the middle of the floor. So let's run through it real quick. As soon as the guy in front of you closes out, you take off. Coach Finley will slap the ball, and the next guy closes out. Here we go. Throw those hands up. Good. Active feet, active feet. Good. Active feet while you're waiting. When you're in that help position, come out and get active feet. Active feet, active feet, active feet. Come out and wait right here. There you go. And eyes here, eyes here. She'll tell you when to go. You're open. Now you're going to her. There you go. Active feet, active hands, active hands. Keep your feet moving. Keep your feet moving. Close out. Ready? Good. Dig, 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 dig. Active feet. Good. Pretty good. Good. Active feet. Boy, we don't like to move our feet, do we? Good. 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 Stop. Okay? All right. Almost everybody struggled with the same thing, and we won't take the time to drill it here today. I know you're all thankful for that. But you come out, you're ready, 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 and then you're here. And anytime you get here and your feet stop, a great player is going to take you. You're in trouble. So you have to keep those feet moving. They don't have to be chopping, but you just have to be ready, just slightly ready so that you can change direction. Okay, we're going to turn around and get in our same 3 lines that we were in, just smash them up, and we're flat on the baseline. So we got our same 3 lines that we were in earlier in our little mass. Took us a long time to get there. We're uneven. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. Communication is key. All right. We do this almost every day as part of a warm-up. It's called full court closeouts. First wave will come out to the free throw line. Throw your hands up. Same thing we just did. Do it together. Ready, ready, ready. Point, 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 swing. Point, point, point. Stick, stick, stick. Then you'll take off to half court. When that group passes the free throw line going to half court, the next group goes, and so on. You're going to go all the way the length of the floor. If you do it really well, we'll only do it once today for time's sake, all right? Really talk and get down really low, okay? Ready? Go. Stick, stick, stick. Good. Stay there on your stick and then go. Stay on your stick and then go. Good. Stay there on your stick and then go. Good, good. Next group. That's it. That's it. Okay, everybody freeze right where you are. Okay, freeze right where you are. All right, this group move right up to the free throw line, just in your lines as you are. This group right to half court as you are, and that group to free throw line as you are. Now, this time, I want you to do it in an exaggerated version, okay? Slow. Total exaggeration. So you'll close out game speed, live speed, okay? And then it's point, 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 swing, point, okay? To make yourself get low, to concentrate on your angles, concentrate on the size of your step slide, really exaggerating everything. So it's slow-mo this time, except for your closeout. Ready? Go. Good, Lisa. Really good. Good, Caitlin. Good. Good, good, good. Everybody to the baseline, finish out. Okay, really, really good. So you see, when you're going full speed, it can get really easy to not be paying attention to your angles, and basically you're just sending people right down the floor. When you slow down, you really have to exaggerate your technique. Okay? Full court closeouts. Let's go, let's talk a little bit about relationship. We need a ball now. Coach Finley is on the black team. You guys are on offense. So Jess, you come out here on the wing, and Lisa, you guard the ball, and Caitlin, you're guarding Jess on the wing. Okay, our relationship, if you're guarding the ball in man defense, it's always ball, you, basket. If it ever becomes you, ball, basket, you got problems, right? Make sense to everybody? Thought so. Ball, you, basket, all right? When you're guarding anybody off the ball, it's ball, you, man, all right? Ball, you, man. If it becomes ball, man, you got problems. Pass, basket, cut, score, okay? So that's always your relationship. You're trying to maintain that relationship, okay? You don't need to be right next to your guy, because if you're right next to your guy and this guy gets beat, you're in trouble. So your responsibility when you're one pass away, you're on what we call the help line, you're denying. So in the passing lane is her hand with her thumb down. She is half the distance from her guy to the ball, and that distance varies a little bit. If she's a great, great shooter, you might be a little bit closer. If she's really, really stretched out and she's not a great shooter, you might be a little closer to the ball. So that kind of varies a little bit. But you're on the line of the ball and you're up the line toward the ball, okay? In denial position, looking straight down the barrel of your arm where you can see, Caitlin can see when she looks ahead, the basketball and her guy simultaneously. Okay, so this is denial position, one pass away, all right? Now, let's say that you're out on the wing and Logan, you are guarding her and the ball is over here at Jessica, okay? So now you are 2 passes away, you're in help, and our rule, we're looking straight ahead and we're seeing both. So you're in pistols position, you're in a stance, and you got a finger pointed at your guy, a finger pointed at the ball. You look straight ahead, you can see them both. If you can't see them, you back up until you can, okay? You're making a triangle. You're the apex of the triangle. It goes here, it goes across to the ball, and it goes there. The flatter that triangle can get, the better defender you will be. Some people have to be deeper just because their peripheral vision doesn't allow it. You get where you can see both. That's your rule, okay? Let's say you move up here a little bit. You're still guarding her. You're over here in the corner, okay? And you're guarding her in the corner, okay? Ball's still here, okay? One pass away, we're denial. We're ready. We're help with our flat triangle, and we're hoop, okay? Head under the basket, hoop, all right? She's got backside of anything that comes in here, and then she can recover to her guy. She can be far away from her because she's far away from the ball, okay? It'll take a long time for that pass to get there. She'll have plenty of time to recover. All right, let's back it up just a little bit. And now we're going to talk about, let's talk about basket cuts. Ball's back at Coach Finley, okay? Every time the ball moves, you move. Every time, okay? Every time the ball moves, you move. So Coach Finley passes to the wing. We all jump to the ball. Here's the biggest problem kids make. Rewind it. Can you guys show them jump to the basket? When Coach Finley passes, jump to the basket. You're just too good. It's just well ingrained. She makes threes. She can't screw up on defense. She gets an A+ for the day. Most of the time, this is where my guys get in trouble. If I'm guarding the ball and a pass is made, I jump here. That doesn't do any good, all right? Jump the direction that the pass moves. Always jump into the ball. So we swing it here, we jump to the ball. We swing it back, we jump to the ball. We swing it across, we jump to the ball. We make another pass, we jump to the ball. Every time the ball moves, we move, okay? That puts us in a position, skip it back here, please.
Right here.
That puts us in a position if Coach Finley passes to the wing and Lisa jumps to the ball, now Coach Finley can't run a basket cut and break that relationship. If Lisa does not jump to the ball, Coach Finley makes a basket cut. Now you got ball, man, you, and you got problems, okay? So we have to always jump to the ball. Let's back up and show them 3-on-3 shell real quickly with just 3 guards. We got the floor balance, we just have 3. And so now, when this pass goes to the wing, you're all the way in a big hoop. All the way, you got to sprint and get there and see both. And when it's reversed, you sprint. So, key teaching point. When you go to hoop, turn and run. Don't step slide. Turn and run, then get your position, sprint to denial line, close out into your position just like you close out on a live ball. Okay, let's do it with great intensity now. Here we go. Good. 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 All right, that's good. That's good. Really good. All right, let's bring another out and go with 4 on the perimeter. All right, same thing, but now where this changes is we have a help line and a hoop, okay? Typically, help line has a foot on the ball side of the floor, and our hoop is taking away the basket. Typically, it depends on the quality of player again. If you got a great shooter over here, you might not be quite as deep. You just keep that relationship via that triangle where you can see both at all times. All right, let's just move the ball around the perimeter. No penetration.
Deny.
Good. Good. All right, good. Stop right there, okay? Now we're going to let people move. All right, that's what shell looks like when the ball moves. You have to move at all times, regardless of what your guy is doing. Now, not only is the ball going to move, but people are going to move, and so we have to change those relationships. You are always trying to maintain ball you man, ball you basket. So that's what the jump does, is it puts you in a position to maintain all those relationships. And that's what you work on as we're cutting. So the offense, when we pass to the wing from this point, we will just basket cut. We'll bump over, reverse it. When a pass goes from the top to the wing, we will basket cut and bump over. So real simple for the offense. Defense, jump to the ball, see your man on the ball all the time. Okay, let's try it. Start it, Coach Finley. Okay, here we go. Good. Stop. Rewind. Perfect. Rewind. Go back where you were. Zoop. Okay. Couple of things. You have to recover to the right spot. So we're here. We did a great job. Everybody jumped to the ball. Okay, Coach Finley made a basket cut, walked through it. We come here. You're continually keeping this relationship. So as she's moving, you're moving, okay, so that you're here, okay, and you don't have to go from here trying to get there. You're going on that line of the ball, the basket. Same thing here. As we come out, we don't want to run and deny where our guy is. We want to run up the line and split the difference, because the purpose of this denial guy, yes, it's to deny this next pass, but it's also to prevent dribble penetration. So if she beats Lisa off the dribble right here, all you have to do is open up and she can't go anywhere. If you deny out on your guy, now she gets through that gap and we don't have help in recovery. Okay? So we want to recover up the line. Everybody recovers up the line. Here we go. Let's try it again. Up the line, good. Jump to the ball. Jump to the ball. Good. Jump to the ball. Up the line, good. Hold up. Good, really good. All right, let's rewind. Now you moved off the pass, and now you've defended cuts as well. So now we're going to add dribble penetration, okay? I tell you what, Andy, come in on offense for Coach Finley. It's because I know you're a dribbling Mimi right here. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pass to the wing, okay? And we're going to basket cut. You're going to go ahead and get all the way through, and we're going to bump over. And after she cuts through, I want you to drive the baseline, okay? And I want you to get beat, okay, so that we can show a little bit of rotation and recovery. Okay, so you're going to let that cutter pass, then you're going to drive baseline, you're going to get beat, you're going to stop the ball outside the lane line, we're going to drop to the depth of the ball, and I'll show you what we're looking for when we get that far. Okay, let's go back and get that far. I'll stop you. So we pass and we jump to the ball. Good. Good. Freeze, 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 freeze. Ball's right here. Okay. You've stopped her from getting to the basket. We are depth of ball. You've got 2. You've got basket. Pass comes out. Most important part of this is telling your teammates who you have. Easily the most important part. Should she have her and you have her? Yes, in a perfect world, yes. But what if the world is imperfect and this guy's really, really good and she can't get there in time and she needs to go there? That rotation is okay too, as long as she tells her. We have to talk about it though. So communication is absolutely paramount. And as we get into these different types of defenses, you'll see it's even more so. So you communicate, you rotate out, and you reestablish those relationships. Ball you man. Now, who do you have? Did she recover and get there? Then you might have her, which means your relationship is actually down here on this flat triangle, and your hoop right there, and then we're covered. All right? Let's try it one more time, and let's pass out of it, and I won't stop you. We'll rotate, and we get squared with 4 out again. We'll drive the baseline after a cut. Okay? Good. Good hoop, hoop. Up the line, up the line. Good. Okay, stop, stop. Okay. When we drop off of a baseline drive, this top guy, make sure that you get deep enough that you can see 2, because those are the guys you're going to have to be responsible for 2, because momentarily when we get beat, we have a disadvantaged situation. They're playing 5-on-4, okay, because this guy's a lame duck. She got beat. So this guy at the top has 2, and you have to cover both until we can recover and get squared away again. All right, let's back it up, and let's add, I'm going to put Coach Finley back in and put Andy down at the post. And let's see, you're playing defense, you're on offense, okay? Now, post defense, what do? All right, different guys do it different ways. You can always play behind and push them off the block. If you're 6'7" and you're guarding somebody who's 6 foot, that's beautiful. It works all the time. If you're both 6 foot or you're both 5'11", then you got issues, all right? Most of the time, playing behind is not the best answer, even for guys who are maybe bigger, because you have a tendency to get really lazy and just stand behind and push and shove and not create anything that's helpful for your team. So we like to front. We don't do it all the time, but we like to front. So if the ball's at the top of the floor, we're in a 3/4 front with our post. 3/4 front means this leg is just as important as this hand. Lots of times, post players want to call this a 3/4. Andy did great. This is not a 3/4 front. You take that top leg and you split it, okay? We want to try to prevent the entry pass from the top. When the ball goes below the free throw line extended, we want to fight right across and be in a full front where our contact is maintained with our butt, because we can't see her, so we have to maintain contact. Otherwise, we like distance, okay? If a post player, offensive post player can sit on us, she can seal us, she can bury us. We like distance in every situation except a full front. So Andy maintains contact. Her teammates telling her hoop, hoop, hoop. They can't throw a lob. I'm here, and we're in a full front. This puts us in a position, if Jess drives baseline, Andy can be the help, okay? And we can cover down, split the difference, hoop, drop. You've got everybody on the backside, the drift included, okay? Sometimes people stop the baseline penetration with their hoop. When we full front, I do not. I let the post guy do it for one basic reason. This guy is usually really big, and this is a really, really hard pass to make on the baseline, okay? Either way is fine. Doesn't matter. Just find something you believe in and stick with it. Ball comes out. Let's say you skipped it. You were able to skip it all the way across. Again, we communicate, we recover, up the line, up the line, up the line. There you go. Back to our hoop and our position, okay? Post defense, again, wants to try to maintain that relationship of ball you man. So if Andy is here and her post guy is over here, ball's right there, she wants to try to stay in this position. So if we try to flash, Andy wants to chest her. Yep. Well, like this. Just take this forearm, okay? Chest her and make her go low. So if you go low, okay, that's fine. Now I'm here and I stay ball, you, man, the entire time, okay? We don't want to stand here. My guys do this all the time. She busts across the lane, and then we go, and then we try to push them out of the way, okay? Broke the relationship right there. Ball, you, man the entire time, okay? We need to do a cover down. Let's do it this way. Let's swing the ball to the post or to the wing, and let me have a strong side post here. Andy, your gardener, okay? Now we get beat on the baseline, come slowly, okay? Andy steps out and stops the ball, okay? We got to cover down right here, right here. Yeah, you want a hand here, okay? Just like that, all right? Now the important part is this backside. Make sure that you get deep enough to see her. If Jess went all the way to the corner, you got to be able to see that, okay? All right, let's swing it back out. Let's try passing and cutting with 5. 5-on-5 shell. I won't do it long, Coach. Here we go. There you go, good. Pretty good. 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 Stop. 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 Okay. Most important thing with shell drill is teaching guys to go really, really hard with great intensity. And we work on it 3-on-3 and 4-on-4 almost every day for short amounts of time, 3 to 4 minutes max, where we're really trying to establish that intensity and that relationship, because it becomes a muscle memory pattern. Every time the ball moves, you move, and it's just a part of who you are as a player. If you only do it once a week or every 2 or 3 weeks, it never becomes a part of your habit. And that's what it has to be a good man-to-man defensive team. Now, you take all those things and then you have to divide them back out and work on your closeouts and work on your containment and work on your contesting and work on your denials and all those things separated out to get really good at them. But shell drill is the best way to incorporate everything all at once in the maximum amount of time. Okay, let's move on and talk about defending ball screens. Let's keep our 2 post guys out here, and let's keep Lisa, you come and guard her. That way we stay black and red, and the rest of you on the baseline. Okay? We're going to talk about ball screen coverage, baseline. Ball screens are pretty vogue right now. Everybody runs a whole lot of them. I'm going to show you different ways to cover ball screens. And it's what we do, and you can do it situationally. It can be based on location of the screen. Where's the ball? Where's the screen? It can be about personnel. Who has the basketball? Can she create off the dribble? Is the screener a popper? Can she shoot? All those things can determine how you guard it. But I'm going to show you 2 or 3 different things that we do. We'll start with an on ball in the middle of the floor. So let's just say we're up here, and you're going to come set an on ball. Okay? Set an on ball screen. Okay? The first thing we do is we communicate it first and foremost. Okay? Screen left, screen left, screen left. Our communication rule is we say it 3 times, okay? Communication is a 2-way street. You have to say it. You have to let her know that you heard it, okay? We're saying one true thing. It's a 2-way street, and we say it 3 times. Real simple communication rule for everything that we do, okay? So your one true thing is screen left, okay? You say, I got it, I got it, I got it, okay? We're repeating it 3 times to make sure. Your job is she can't go this way. Okay? If you're defending the ball and you hear screen left, all right, you cannot let her go right. All right? You can't let her reject the screen because we have no help. Andy's over here. What we're going to do in the middle of the floor is we're going to do what we call a violent show. So Andy's going to come with her screener, and if communication is number 1, sprinting with the screener, arriving with the screen is number 2. Okay? So as the screener comes out here and sprints and sets this screen, Andy's going to arrive as close to simultaneously as she possibly can. Her third rule is her feet are going to mirror her screener's feet. So however her feet are, that's exactly the angle Andy's feet are. Okay? She's at her same height level, and she stays attached at the hip. All right? That's her violent show. So if you set the screen, no, go ahead. Just turn a little, okay? Now Andy's feet are exactly like hers. She mirrors her feet, okay? She stays attached with her inside hand to her hip where it can't be split, and we make sure that she doesn't use the screen, okay? Now, the higher the level you go, the more physicality is required in this. Our rule is we get into the ball. So in other words, if I'm guarding the ball, as soon as I hear screen left, I'm going to make contact with this offensive player so that she can't come back in this direction, okay? Again, it's a level thing, and depending on how a game is being officiated and what they allow you to do. But we get into them, you can't get rejected, okay? So you're going to jump out, violent show, and what's that violent show hopefully going to make this ball handler do? Go this way, which is exactly what we want, okay? You're going through, you're squaring up. When she's there, you're recovering, okay? Let's run through it again. Okay, you've got a live ball. Okay, ball screen. Here we go. I got it. Okay, under. Go again. Here, Lisa goes, sends her here. Andy shows. You're going to go right in between those two and be squared to the basket because you're going to stay ball, you, basket. Okay, here we go. I got it. Okay, and Andy, you go home. Okay? Glad you did that. Next teaching point for my defender of the screener. No more than 2 steps. Okay? You're here, 1, 2, no more than that. And we don't even let our guys really go 2. Okay? Just 1.5, big step slide, and then recover to your guy. Okay? That's a violent show. Let's do it one more time. Okay, you didn't really show that time. Okay, notice I used the word violent for a purpose. It's supposed to be violent. Okay, you're gonna shock. I'm gonna do it this time. Okay, she goes, screen left. Okay, you're gonna jump out there, and as soon as she starts going that direction, then you recover. Okay, and then you say, I got it. I'm under. We're good, and then we're squared away. Okay, now let's switch. Let's switch this ball screen. I want you guys to do it. Here we go. Switch it. Okay. What happens in a switch? Where are you vulnerable? You stay on the top side, and then she's broken that relationship, right? It's no longer ball, you man. So now when we switch, let's try to get underneath that screen. It's fine to switch, but you got to get basket side. Right. Okay, so not as important here to make sure that she uses that screen because we're not showing anyway. So you really now want to be more square where you can stay basket side of any of the action. Okay, one more time on a switch. Got it. Good. Okay, that's tough. It's really tough when it's a big to little because it's easy to get buried back there. So you kind of have to anticipate and jump a little earlier. Most of the time, middle on balls, we violent show. Primarily because what do coaches do? Is this usually a player that has the ball that they on ball for? Pretty much we do it for a player, not for a non-player, huh? Yeah. Okay. So best player, we want to make sure that we take care of that. So you have a violent show, you make them react negatively, or you get them off the daggum ball. And here's how you do that. She's got the ball. Best player, we come to set the screen. Now we're going to do what we call a fire, okay? On a fire, that means we're going to trap it. So now we're not going to mirror the screener's feet anymore. We're going to keep our chest to half court, okay? Because we're not letting the basketball go north and south. We're making it go sideways, and we're following over the top this time. And you're just pushing her, and you guys are just in this nice little, stay even, yeah. Okay, you just make this little box, this little half box, and you just slide it over till she throws the ball somewhere else. Because most of the time, it's a really good player, and they're doing this to get some sort of isolation and get her free. A fire, a trap gets her off the ball. Let's try it live one time. Fire. Okay, good, really good. Okay, our terminology and our communication goes like this. We call out, and they did it right there at the end. Screen left, fire. It reminds everybody to stay on the same page. Show, fire. Switch. Okay? Now I'll show you what we do on the sideline. We do what we call an ice. So we got our guard here. Okay? We like to keep the basketball on the sideline. The scariest place for the ball to be is in the middle third of the floor. As it changes sides, you change your help side. You get to play 5-on-3. You get to cut the floor into thirds when it stays here. Huge advantage if the ball can't get back to the middle of the floor. So in our ice, we want to keep the ball here, okay? So we're playing, to begin with, we're playing on the high side, keeping the ball pinned on the sideline. When the screener comes, let's get on this side, yeah, okay? We're setting the screen there. When the screener comes, we're making sure that we're calling ice, ice, ice. Now, you're going to be on the low side this time. You're my help on the low side. Weird, I know. Down in a stance, attached at the hip, stretch out and use that length. There you go. You're going to get up on the high side, and you're not going to let her use the screen. So an ice is different than a show or a fire. On the ice, we're going to not let her use the screen. You get all the way up on this high side of her and let her drive right here because she is our show, okay? And so as she drives, you're going to have to work like crazy to recover so Andy can go back home, all right? Here's where you get in trouble. If this big guy is a really good pick and pop guy, it's a tough coverage, and you have to have some rotational help, okay? We can talk about that in just a second. Let's try the ice. Good, good, good. Stay right there for just a second, and you come right here with the ball. Okay, I'm playing defense on her. As soon as you hear ice, you just want to angle your feet. You're still ready to guard, and if you don't need her help, you don't need her help. You just don't want the ball going here. So you just get on the high side. She puts the ball on the floor. You want to try to reestablish and get in front. And if you need to run and get there, that's fine too. Andy, you're going to show 2 dribbles max. She puts the ball on the floor twice. You come back home. Okay? Here we go. Good. That was perfect. That was perfect. Really, really good. And then she dribbled off her foot at the end. Excellent job. Just what we wanted you to do. Okay, so ours is based on location and personnel. All right? Show, fire, switch, ice. I got them all. Okay, that's ball screen coverage. Okay, we're going to switch gears real quickly and talk about defensive transition. All right? Of all the things that we do defensively, all the types of defense that we are in, junk, zone, man, whatever. The single most important thing you have to do is take care of defensive transition because that's where teams get layups, okay? That's where you get layups. Our rule, our goals, I guess I should say, our goals as a defensive team are number 1, no layups. Number 2, no fouls. We don't want to give people free throws and we don't want to give them layups, okay? Number 3, no second shots because most of the time, second shots lead to and ones or clean layups, putbacks. Very important. And then last, we try to limit the number of threes. So what are we doing? We're trying to turn all teams into jump shooting teams, okay? Lowest percentage shot in the game. So as you're trying to do all that, the very first one I started with, taking away layups, most of the time happens in transition because you don't get back. We work on it every single day. Division I level, every single day in some way, shape, or form, we work on defensive transition, okay? Here's how we're going to work on it. Let's have the 5 red shirts out about free throw line distance facing the baseline, and black shirts on the baseline, including Coach Finley, lined up with somebody who's your like position. Okay, so guard, guard, post, post, etc. All right, number 1 in taking care of defensive transition, I'll take that ball for right now. Thank you. Number 1 for defensive transition is you have to stop the ball. Absolutely, without fail, someone has to commit to the ball and stop it. All right? Number 2, protect the basket. So as soon as the shot comes off the rim or goes in the basket even, as soon as there's a change of possession, somebody's screaming, I got ball, running to the middle portion of the floor to get in position to guard the ball. Somebody else is screaming, I got basket, I got basket, I got basket, and you're sprinting all the way back to take away the hoop, okay? And that area is right above this beautiful little horseshoe that they painted on the floor for us. The guy who's got the basket gets right back here, says, I got basket, and takes anything, anybody who comes. Might be a post player, might be a guard, could be anybody. You've got the basket. Your job is no layups, okay? You can get all involved in what you want the other 3 people to do. You can get as involved as you want. I don't want any pass up the sideline. I want my right wing always going right. I want my left wing always going left. None of that matters. None of that matters. Stop the ball, protect the basket. Who's my 5-man? Run as fast as you can from there to there so that that full check can get out of the full check and go guard to guard, and we can get matched up and we take away layups. Okay? Cannot stress that enough, regardless of level. Take away layups in transition. Okay? Here's how we work on it. We call the ball stopper a half check, and we call the basket stopper a full check. Okay? Half court, full court, taking care of our responsibilities. We work on this in mass just like we are. For example, I might throw the ball to Jessica, and if I do, as soon as I throw the ball to Jess, the black team takes off and you're on offense. Whoever's defending the guy I just threw the ball to, you have to go touch the baseline. Okay? We have to stop the ball, protect the basket, recover, and get people guarded. Okay? So, before we start, and important, excuse me, important for coaches, when you start this drill, make sure that you're not taking your full check away right at the beginning. So you get with your red team, who's my half check? Okay, who's my full check? It's going to be a guard. It's going to be a guard. Why is it going to be a guard? Because our bigs are doing what? Rebounding. Okay, our bigs are in here. Okay, and typically they're not the fleetest of foot of all of our guys. So we'll have a guard get back and be full check, and we'll have a guard get back and be half check. And typically our point guard is our half check because you pick up the ball handler most of the time. It makes your matchups cleaner. It doesn't have to be that way. If your point guard is a great rebounder, let her rebound, let your 2-man be half check. Okay, it doesn't matter. But you need to know who that is. Every time our guys substitute, they have to exchange that information. Every single time. Full check, half check. Even if it doesn't change, when a substitute comes in, we reiterate the communication of who has full and who has half. Okay? So let's say that I throw the ball right here. We're going to walk through it. Okay? You have to go touch. Black team, you're going back on offense. Okay? Full check. Stop. Slow down. Slow down. Okay? You're full check, full check. You're half check, half check. I got ball, I got ball. Other guys are matching up. Now she's coming from behind, right? Okay? We have to always take strong side away. Always take strong side away. This guy, if the ball is right there, this guy is way more threatening than that guy over there because it's a shorter, quicker pass. So you won't recover necessarily right here. We'll bump out, you'll bump back, you'll take her on the weak side of the floor. So communication is incredibly important here, all right? This guy who's in full check, you're like the pilot. You're the only one that can see. These other guys are running, and the ball is behind them, their players are behind them, you can see. So you can tell people, you got her, get me out, I got to get the wing, and you communicate and you bump off. The rotation is hard. The first few times you do it, it stinks, it's awful. It gets better. Just remember, always recover, strong side first, weak side second, okay? Let's bring it from this baseline. We'll go live this time. We'll go live. Who's my full check? Okay, Lisa's my full check. Who's my half check? Caitlin's my half check. When I throw it, if I throw it to your guy, you run and touch the baseline. Everybody else is going full speed. Okay? Good. 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 Stop. Stop. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Really good. Keys and everything in the pocket. It was good. I can hear you jingling. Let's go one more time. Okay, we're going to walk through this. You see how this can build up and how you can make it more complicated. My full check is Lisa. Okay? So what happens if I throw Lisa's guy the ball? Somebody else has to become full check. All right? And if you want to be a certain player out of the game, they're not something you stay with for typically extended periods of time, but they can really break a rhythm and change the flavor of a game. Couple of things, everybody on the baseline. We have trouble sometimes, we have trouble with big post players. You'll play against a team who has a kid who's 5 inches taller than anybody on your team. And so you have to have certain ways of dealing with those post players. So Andy, you're going to be our post player that's here, okay? And let's say that you're guarding her. We're having all kinds of trouble because if you front, she's too big and they throw over the top. Play behind, she can turn around and shoot over you. So you're here, and let's say our 4-man is Krista, and Skylar, you're guarding Krista. Okay, just be up here, okay? One of the traps we run is called a Rex, okay? Think dinosaur, big to big. If Coach Finley throws the ball into Andy, on the fly to the ball, Skylar comes and traps. The important thing here is for the big guy to not get beat baseline. She has to jump on the baseline side of that foot so she can't get hooked. Yeah, and then you're going to come on the inside and we are trapping, okay? We're trapping, trying to make it as difficult as possible. In any of our traps, we go back to our trap rule. We got 2 trappers, we got 2 interceptors, and we got a safety. So these other guys have to zone up for a second. Ball comes back out, okay? The other thing that we do is we run a tiger. So these 2 guys come off. Lisa's on offense. She's a little guard up here. You guys are off. Krista and Skylar, you're off. Okay? And Jasmine, you're on defense right here. We'll trap with the guard, and we call it a tiger. And here's the only way this differs from Rex, okay? When the pass goes to the post, the tiger comes to double, but she comes to get the ball, not to trap the ball. She comes to get the ball. You are going after the ball, okay? You can hit up so it comes out. They don't get you for a foul. It hits her in the face. It's great. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone kind of thing. Take the ball, okay? So when it goes to the post, tiger or little guard goes and goes after the ball, okay? Very simple to do that. Other things that you can do if you have the opponent's point guard, and we're just going to say you're the point guard. Point guard is really good. She's killing you. You can just random trap the point guard. Okay? If we've got a shooter in and she's really hot, you can just random trap the shooter. Whenever the ball goes to the shooter, closest guy comes to trap. Okay? You can also do what we call a weak link trap. Okay? So let's say, Caitlin, you're guarding Coach Finley. Okay? And Coach Finley is our weak link today. Okay? With our weak link trap, what that means is Caitlin can just go trap anybody she wants, whenever she wants, and we're not going to cover here. We want them to throw it back there. You got a kid that will not shoot or doesn't have any range, let that defender run and double folks whenever she wants to. Okay? So there's lots of ways to use traps to take away personnel strengths from the opponent or to change tempo or flow of a game. I hope you enjoyed our team defense video. What we've tried to do is expose you to a lot of different ways to play defense. Obviously, intensity, effort, enthusiasm are cornerstones of being a great defensive player. And great defensive teams are made up of a bunch of selfless players who are excited about and take great pride in defending their basket. I began with man-to-man defense and some very basic principles that really rely heavy drilling in order to become a part of the habitual routine of players and of teams. We move on into zones, which have a time and a place, obviously, and into some junks and some personal situations, as well as some extended pressing situations. I do spend a great deal of time on the video talking about defensive transition because I believe it is the cornerstone of whatever type of defense you want to play. You got to be able to take away layups in transition, and that's something that happens all the time. In this video, as well as in the video that we produced earlier for offensive work, I think our overriding goal is to try to get young players to be good at things that happen a lot. And when you think as a defensive player, what happens a lot? Well, you have to get back in transition, you have to stop the ball, somebody has to guard the ball. As the ball is moved, you have to move with the ball in its ever-changing position. So I tried to expose those things and to show you some different ways to take great pride in being a strong defensive team. Just want to encourage players to understand that if you want to be a great defender, if you want to have a place on a team, if you want to be an impact player, then you can. It doesn't take a certain level of athleticism or size or ability. It takes a really big heart and a big dose of want to. And anybody to whom it is really, really important can become a big-time defender. And so I challenge you, there aren't enough of those coming out of the high school levels for those of us in collegiate positions. So I encourage you, if you love this sport, you want to find a way to be special, turn yourself into a fantastic defensive player. What we've tried to create here is a package of videos that will help you as a coach develop a system for building your team. And you can't build a team without building players, and so those two things are intertwined throughout the video system. But it is very much a package of skeletal ideas. It's really a framework. There's not enough time. If we were teaching each of these individual skills in its entirety the way I would teach them with my team throughout the season, there would be a lot more time spent on triple threat position, a lot more time spent on live ball direct drive moves, live ball crossover moves, on rocker jumpers, on setting and using screens. Everything would have great depth. This video package does not allow us for that depth. What this does allow for is a framework, a skeletal framework, and hopefully what that does is gives you a starting point as a coach. And these are the pieces that I need, these are the things that I need to employ throughout my practices. And maybe it even starts a brainstorm for you of, I don't want to do this, but I want to do this in replacement of that. And what you have to do along the way is make decisions, because you can't do everything. You can't use every great thing you've ever heard. You can't incorporate every great drill that you've ever seen. You have to make decisions about what you like best and about what you think will be most effective for your team, your players, and your system. And then you sell out to that, and you teach it wholeheartedly, in depth to your players. This video package is designed to help you see from start to finish how you can develop a player and develop a team. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not what you teach, it's what you emphasize. And you're not teaching players plays, you're teaching them how to play. We have more kids than ever before playing the sport of basketball. And we probably have few players than ever before playing it really well. That's where coaches become paramount. You have to be able to teach your kids skill sets. Basketball players who are in the gym playing but not getting any better aren't accomplishing an objective. What you're trying to do is teach young players how to become better players, how to become good players, and then ultimately how to become great players. That can happen through coaching, through teaching, through repetitive drill work, but you have to keep an objective in mind. You're trying to teach kids how to play. Teach them to become great players. And if you develop a great team in the process, that's terrific. And there are lots of great, valuable lessons that come from teaching teamwork. But remember, it's not all about winning games. It's about improving players who improve teams, who improve the level of our sport all across the country. A video like this is not possible without the help of a lot of people, and I want to acknowledge some of those at this time. I really want to express appreciation to the Oklahoma Christian Lady Eagles for volunteering their time to do the demos for us. They were terrific. We had a young Catholic team from a number of schools around the Oklahoma City area, a group of 6th graders who came in and volunteered their time, and we appreciate them so much. I also want to express appreciation to Oklahoma Christian University for allowing us to utilize their gym and to lock everybody out for a few days while we taped. And then last but certainly not least, I couldn't teach what I teach if I hadn't learned it from some of the best in the business. And my teaching philosophy across the board, offensive, defensive, individual skill work, everything that I know, I learned from somebody else. And that begins with Dan Hayes, the men's basketball coach here at Oklahoma Christian University, Stephanie Finley, the women's coach here at Oklahoma Christian University, Don Meyer, the winningest coach in all of basketball, who has been a mentor and a dear friend of mine for years, Gino Ariema, one of my best friends and strongest mentors in the sport of basketball, and then indirect influences from Hubie Brown to Rick Majerus down the line. We as teachers, as basketball coaches, we steal ideas and we share thoughts, and we incorporate those things that best fit with us. And I feel incredibly blessed as a basketball coach to have been surrounded by a group of mentors that are second to none. Good luck. Thank you for investing in the growth of young basketball players, and thereby in an indirect way and yet in a very direct way making college basketball players successful and college coaches successful, and then ultimately growing the sport of basketball across this country. Thank you for what you do, and best of luck.